May profits be upon you. Welcome to, well, this is my midweek analysis video, okay? And what we do is, what I do anyway, I said we, my large organization, what we do is we get the production team. Now, what I do is I like to take a second look at the forecast that I put out for the 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 entire markets to include FX markets, right? I'm going to go through all of these: the S&P, the indices, the metals, and the FX pairs, and I'm going to run through them and see how are we doing with the forecast. Did we need to change bias or anything like that? That's what I'm looking at. Okay, so we're going to start out with the US dollar index. All right. In the forecast, I said price would come back up into this fair value gap. This is a daily fair value gap, a bearish one, inside or nested within a weekly fair value gap. So what I was talking about was price was going to pull back up, and we should see price start the round over and continue down to this low. Okay, and I think that's the track that we're on. Now, as I mentioned in the forecast that we took this liquidity low here, and once we took that, I expected price to pull back up, and it did. And like I showed you on the weekly, you can see that there is a weekly fair value gap here, and I was looking for price to give me a two candle pull back into that. One candle pulling in and one candle pulling out. So far, we got two candles going in. But I expect that we may come to test this low, which intersects the weekly fair value gap here. So we may push up with a wick and then continue down, which would mean what? It would mean that I would be looking for the FX pairs like the Euro USD, Pound USD, or whatever, to go the opposite direction. If it's going down, I'm looking for the other ones to start to move higher, being that the US dollar is weaker. But we're going to start with the S&P. The S&P, what did I talk about? If we go to the daily, you're going to see the same theme repeated, all right? Because we're at a point, that's why I'm doing this video, we're at a point where we should start to see the direction change. I said there'll be some short-term bullishness, but a longer-term bearishness, or the opposite, depending on what asset we're looking at. But you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, with the S&P, we have this, weekly fair value gap, and I said price was going to push up into that fair value gap and then push down, and that's exactly what we're doing. All right, we had today was the start of it. Very nice push down, giving us a balanced price range here, BPR. I was looking for price to swing up and take this high here for liquidity, a liquidity high, and we didn't. We just missed it. We just missed it, but I'm going to say I was pretty close. All right. But, we just missed it, but we're headed down. I'm looking for us to take that low out. All right. Because I think actually this low is the low I'm looking for. Okay. Now, the price is running into this volume imbalance here. I want to see if price finds support here for higher prices. I'm going to keep an eye on that. All right. The Nasdaq is the same way, same analysis. Price pulled back up in there, and I was looking for it to push out. This is the kind of candle, the turnaround I was looking for, a two candle rejection, one candle going in and one candle going out. That's what I was looking for. So I'm looking for lower prices, and there's some liquidity lows here to come and sweep for liquidity. All right. And I don't know if we get all the way down here, but I'm looking for price to try. There is that volume imbalance there. So price may find a reason to go higher and then come back down. All right, because they were those liquidity lows here. That's going to be a nice sweep. All right, and usually when you see price doing this number, it's because there's an intent by the markets to come down and sweep all of this liquidity here. All right, so we'll see how that goes. The Dow, same deal. And I even pointed out in the Dow on the weekly, I pointed out that this bearish weekly fair value gap was higher than the S&P and the Nasdaq. All right, but I said I think it's still going to reach up there. I think it's going to reach up there, and we're going to start to see price turn over once it does. And lo and behold, we start to get some movement towards the downside after touching the weekly fair value gap. So I'm looking for price to come down and check this volume imbalance, and maybe find a reason to to move higher. Where are we at? This is the oil. I tell you, I wasn't too thrilled with this, but what you can see is that we are squeezing. All right, you see, we are squeezing. Price is squeezing down, and when you see price start to narrow, you're gonna look for a breakout on either side. Now, this is a dangerous area. I would avoid it because price could turn around on you at any point. But if you're going to play it, play the range. Like I mentioned in the video, play the ranges, play the highs, and play the lows. Let price get up here, then take your shorts, and then play it to the downside. Right now, you should be in longs. There's no reason not to be. All right. It may pull back, but this low is probably going to hold as price goes to the other side of the range. All right. That's basically what I was talking about in the forecast video. Let's move on to gold. Gold was another one. Let's see if I can just get this. Now, what I talked about in gold was that price. You see price make that move to break structure here, all right, with a very nice imbalance there. That's a lovely imbalance, a lovely bullish fair value gap. And you can see that bullish fair value gap is on the weekly. Oops, yeah, I got it. All right, you can see, see that bullish fair value gap there. And it's a weekly fair value gap. If I can get it to separate there, that's a weekly fair value gap there. And inside of that weekly fair value gap is the daily. And I was saying price was going to push down towards it. There was another bullish fair value gap here, if you remember, and it's still holding within the range of that fair value gap. It hasn't closed below it yet, but I thought that maybe there was a possibility that price would find support there. It's having trouble going lower beyond it, but I do believe price is going to come down below it, take out this low-hanging fruit there, that liquidity low, tap this daily fair value gap, which is nested in the weekly fair value gap, and look for higher prices. I'm looking for that pullback to actually happen. All right, still could get that area here to where price may find reason to head towards that high, but I think the lower fair value gap is higher probability, but this will be the target. Yes. Okay. Got it. All right. If we go to silver, I said, man, this was an easy one. I said, we're going to go up from this demand zone. This is a demand zone. You can see the sell before the stronger buy. That's all it is. And it's an order block, and price came down to it on Friday. I said, we're probably going to see higher prices from here. And look, this is what you want to see. Another bullish fair value gap that price could use, tap in, and then go higher. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. And that's what happened. That's the way it's working out. So we'll see if we get a tap in. Let me draw it here. I'm glad we got it here. All right. Let's see if we can get a tap in and a push higher. All right, on the daily. Let's see. Okay. What is this? Platinum. All right. And I told you platinum's ranging kind of like oil, but oil has got a little bit more direction to it right now because we're already at the bottom, starting towards the top. Here, price was on its way down. I thought it was too late to enter in a trade at this point because we're in the middle of this crazy range. I'd wait until price gets down to here to 25% of this range, the upper 25% of the range. This is the lower one. I'll wait for price to come down here and wait for a signature buy price that'll allow me to take a trade up, a low, a lower high, a lower low, and a higher high. Once it breaks that, I'm waiting for the pullback, and this is a high probability trade to the other side of the range. Got it? All right. This is copper, and copper. I'm trying to remember. I was looking for price. I drew out this bullish fair value gap, and this is where we were on. This is where we landed Friday, and I said it was easy. I said all we're looking for is higher prices from here. And what do we get? Oh, all right. I mean, it's not hard to be accurate if you just look at what the structure's giving us. This was an imbalance. Price came back into that imbalance. I said price is probably high probability that it's going to use it to move higher, and that's we're reaching for our weekly buy side liquidity. I don't know about this rejection. that one, I didn't account for that. But besides that, it's a pretty accurate forecast. Anyway, we're moving on to the Euro USD, because when you trade the Euro on the spot, you are trading it against the USD. So, all right. So, this was easy. If we went to the weekly, I said we are in a weekly fair value gap here. Right between let me use the other tool, this one, yeah, between here and here. All right, I was saying, price is gonna come into that and use it for higher prices. That's what I'm looking for. Now we're at that point. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. Oh yeah, we're at that point. We're on a daily right now. We're at that point where price should be starting to find its support. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Find its support here, somewhere around this area, so that we can start moving higher. I'm looking for that evidence to start because it's inside of the daily fair value gap, and I want to see if we start that move tomorrow with today's candle, Thursday's candle, and move on up. But I am definitely in a bullish bias as per the forecast. This is the daily on the British pound. All right. This was the weekly fair value gap. I was looking for price to come down and tap it, hit this this low hanging liquidity low. Once it hits that low for liquidity and taps into the fair value gap, I'm looking for price to push higher towards our buy side liquidity. So that's where we are. All right, Aussie dollar, because the CPI data came in a little lower than the forecast. That weakens the currency some, and so we've been kind of like drizzling here, not moving much. But I'm expecting to see how it swept this low here. I'm expecting price to either sweep this low or continue higher from here. But it's not going to be an easy trick. It may move sideways for a bit because of the CPI data, and we'll see if some news catalysts will move it higher. But I am still bullish until price starts to close past this low here. When it starts to close past it, then I'm looking to see how it closes past it. With does it leave a bearish fair value gap for price to come in and use to go lower? I'm watching all of that. Once we break this low, once we break this low, yeah, I'm starting to look. I'm starting to think bearish. All right, with the New Zealand dollar. Was there news with the New Zealand dollar? No, there was not. No, there wasn't. All right, I thought some news came in, but you can see it's following the same path. It's moving sideways where it's sitting on top of a bullish order block here. I'm looking for price to move higher. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so we'll see if it happens, but I'm still bullish here. But this is a pull at the end of towards the end of this pullback. I'm looking forward to find support for higher prices. All right, if we go to the Canadian dollar futures, all right, I didn't like this one because you see how it's kind of winding down into what, are we squeezing? What are we doing here? All right, we are holding on top of, just like with the New Zealand, we are holding on top of this uh, demand zone here. All right, so order block. It didn't push to take these highs out just yet, and it hasn't broken this low, so we're kind of like in the middle. So we're waiting for price to figure itself out. All right, if we go to the Swiss in the US dollar CAD, it's just the opposite. We're kind of winding down here. Either this will squeeze higher or we'll break out for the low low. All right. Against the US dollar, the CAD may find some strength, because if you look at oil, it's coming down towards support right now. So I'm looking for the CAD to struggle against the U.S. dollar while the U.S. oil is moving down as well. So you'll probably see the U.S. dollar uh, push the price higher, because these look like liquidity highs here. All right, up into this area of supply. I would think that price would probably find uh, resistance there. If we go to the Swiss franc, I talked about in the forecast that price would continue to bounce here, but I'm thinking that we'll find resistance here. And I was looking for price to sweep that high. We just missed it. That's why I got that little circle there. We just missed sweeping that high, and it looks like price may be coming down towards our sell side liquidity targets. There's some low hanging fruit down here. That's why I have this arrow going all the way down. So I'm looking for price to sweep low and finally hit this longer range target down yonder. All right. If we go to the US dollar Swiss, it's just the opposite. I'm looking for price to push up. I was looking for price to possibly sweep into the weekly fair value gap and continue down here. Now that's interesting. Let me go back to the Swiss. All right. You can see that we've been breaking structure to the downside. I'm looking for this pullback to end so that we can see continuation towards the downside, because it's overall bearish. The US dollar Swiss, on the other hand, has not broken that high. All right, with these FX brokers. I find that very interesting. In either case, the this is throwing me way off, because this high should have been taken just like this low was taken here. It should be the opposite. So I'm going past US dollar Swiss, because it'll just confuse you. All right, the yen. Oh, I'm coming down. This is my last one. The yen futures. All right, it kind of got a little weaker, right? It was on its way up, boom, 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 but we hit the target, right? We swept that high, and then we started to come back. This is a pullback, folks. I'm looking for a pullback here, and I'm looking for price to possibly find support there for higher prices. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a like and leave me a comment. Leave me a question and let me know if you like this type of video in the middle of the week.